it's Evelyn. And if you recall a couple of videos ago, I said I was going to buy a new hydrangea this fall. Well, about a week ago, our Campbell River Garden Center got their load of hydrangeas in, and I thought, I should buy it now while I can actually see what it looks like when they're in fresh blooms to pick which one that I wanted. So that's what I did. I went to the garden center and I bought Firelight. Now it is a proven winners. And I wanted to buy Pinky Winky, but by the time I got there, they were already all sold out of Pinky Winky. So I've got Firelight instead. And what I'm going to do is make 3 bouquets. But I don't want to cut all the blossoms off this right now. So I'm going to cut 3 stems off of it, probably the reddest ones. And I'm going to make a bouquet with you guys. I'm then going to turn the camera off because I need my phone, which is taking this video, to take a picture of the bouquet, which I'll do. Then I'll film the next segment with the next bouquet, take a picture of it, etc., etc. Let's get on with the video. Okay, so I put the Firelight hydrangea back there, out of the way, over in my wrapping station, which is beside my photo station where I have the cement board and the burl. I'm going to make these bouquets as though they were going up to the flower wagon, which means stem count is important. And you'll see why large flowers matter when stem count is important. I'm going to use 3 Wanda's Capella, which it's not raining today, so they're not looking as waterlogged as they did last week in the dinner plate daily video. See how much better that looks when it's not waterlogged. All 3 of them. I mean, they just all look so much better. There's the 3rd one. This 3rd one, I've left a bud on it. So those are the 3 Wanda's Capella. I'm going to use 3 stems of purple marjoram, 2 stems of poppy pods, and the poppy pods are starting to dry. So the ones that are no longer green, I'm keeping for autumn bouquets. So these are all the dried ones in here. Same as what I've been doing with my Astilbe over here. As you can see here, I've got the Astilbe. It started to go up pretty quickly because of the heat wave we've been having, but I cut them all. I don't know if you can see that. So that they would preserve their color as much as possible, because if you leave them on the plant, they'll just go brown, and these ones still have quite a bit of color in them. So these are all going to be used in late September and October bouquets. And yeah, there's that there. The other thing I'm going to put into the bouquet is 2 stems with a few laurel leaves down around the bottom of the bouquet. Now the first thing I'm going to start off with is the 2 stems of poppy pods. Then I'm going to take, oh yeah, and of course I've got 3 stems of the Firelight hydrangea. This stem, in order to get it long enough, I've got 2 little stems on, flowers on it as well. But even still, it's a little bit shorter than the rest, but that'll still work. So I'm going to start with the 2 stems of poppy pods. Normally I would put the marjoram in the center too, but because both the hydrangea and the Wanda's Capella are so large, I'm going to feed them in afterwards. So we're going to go around the poppy pods in thirds with the Firelight hydrangea. So that's what we've got now. And what I'm going to do is, using my thumb, I'm going to open up between them and feed in a Wanda's Capella, dinner plate dahlia. So that's what we have there. It's already really beautiful. And you wouldn't really need, I'm just going to fiddle around with the poppy pods a bit. You don't really need, for volume, to add anything else. But for texture, I do want to, because these are all very large and dramatic and bold in their presence. The marjoram is opposite. It's soft and frilly and delicate in its presence. So I'm going to take the 3 of them, and I still want them to feed up to the top, but I want them not to get so buried, and they would have gotten buried had I done them first. So I'm going to take the 3 stems. I'm crossing this in between the hydrangea and the Wanda's Capella dinner plate, and then I'm feeding it down that way. And I'm going to do the same, again, opening it up with my fingers. I'm going to feed in a 3rd one there. And that's what I've got so far. And I'm not actually all that happy with that. I want this one. I'm going to pull it out, and I want it to be a bit more into the center. So I'm going to poke it down through the center. I'm going to look for the stem, see where it's going to come out. There it is. I'm going to pull that out so that it's more into the center. And I'm still fighting with one in the center and two on the outside. I don't like that balance. So I'm going to do 4 of them. And this is where doing odd numbers makes no difference. It's balance that you want. So I'm looking at this and I really feel like I need to have one coming out this way. So I'm going to take a 4th one and I'm going to put it out this way a bit. And I like that. So I'm going to now take the 2 stems of the laurel leaves just to put down along the base of it. I'm going to go from underneath and push up because I don't want them to detract from the flowers. But you see the difference of that versus coming up underneath and doing that and having those green leaves splaying out? Much nicer. And I'm only going to do 2. I'm going to do them on opposite sides of each other. Again, I'm going to come from underneath and I'm going to come underneath. This 3rd I might put a little bit higher so it's more within the bouquet. And there you go. That's that bouquet. I'm then going to take my tie, which is twine. It's a 24-inch piece. I'm going to fold it in half so that I have a loop. I'm going to place the loop on one side, hold it with my thumb, reach around, grab the 2, oops, this is too long, grab the 2 ends and feed it through the loop and pull, and then I'm going to tie it. So that is the bouquet using the dinner plate dahlias. Now I'm going to turn the camera off, take a picture of it, and be back with the next bouquet. Decided I'm going to do another dinner plate bouquet, but this time instead of using the yellow of the Wanda's Capello, I'm going to use this is Spartacus with the deep red. This is AC Loomis, which is more of a fuchsia color with a little white frosting, and this is Labyrinth. So just to see how the exact same bouquet, I keep throwing the ball for the dog, looks completely different when you add in a completely different color. So we're going to go back to the same 2 stems of poppy pods. We're going to put the 3 Firelight hydrangeas into it. Now we're going to feed in the redder dinner plate dahlias. So this is Spartacus. Feed that one in there. And then between these sets of Firelight, I'm going to put in the Labyrinth. Look how similar that is in color to that. And then in between these 2, I'm going to put in AC Loomis. I am not liking how similar in color Labyrinth is. So I'm going to see if I can put in a different one. Let's see. The only other color dinner plate I have right now is Lindsay Michelle. So what happens if I put that one in there? Yeah, that's at least much more different. So it still will give a bit of a pop, especially because of the yellow within the center of the Lindsay Michelle. I'm just going to, my stem's not sitting here right. All right, so that's going to go into there. Okay, that's much better. It's still a little bit too close, but I've only got the 2 stems of the dark red available right now, unfortunately. So now we'll feed in the marjoram again. This time I know I want to put one near the center. And I think I'll put one there. This is just, I'm just going to look and see. And I think it's good because I want one in the center. It's going to be 4 stems of these no matter what. There. So that's that. And then we'll do the 2 stems of the laurel leaves. I got a blue ball here again. Did you see my community post? Leela and Esri turned 4 on August 1st. We like to say she got a new ball for her present, but it's because I lost one of them on top of one of our cedar trees. I need a windstorm to knock it out. So we had to get a new one out of the drawer. It just happened to coincide with their birthday. So I've got the 2 stems of laurel leaves. Laurel leaves, and again, I'm just coming in from the bottom and I'm pushing up so that they splay out on both sides. And that's how much the bouquet looks different using the darker colored dinner plates of A.C. Loomis, Spartacus, and Lindsay Michelle. So I will now tie this one, take a picture of it, and I think the next bouquet I'm going to do is with ball dahlias and see how that looks. Now, normally when I put things at the Roadside Wagon, I only use the ball dahlias in the bouquets if I run out of dinner plates. The ball dahlias I'm usually saving for my pot cans. As you can see, I've got stored them over here. And I do 3 in a pot can, and I do 8 pot cans up in the flower wagon. And but I'm really low on dinner plates right now, so I've been saving some of them in case I need to make another bouquet once all my dinner plates are done. So I'll turn you off, take a picture of this one, and then I'll be back to do the ball dahlia bouquet. Okay, I actually hoped that I'm going to use for ball dahlias, I'm going to use 3 Cornell Bronze and 3 Sweet Fabian. I had hoped I could use a color that wasn't pink because we've got the pink in the firelight off. Hey, but I don't have, I've got white ball dahlias, I got Petra's Wedding, but it's the same thing. It would get completely lost in the firelight. The Sweet Fabian is at least bigger and a darker shade of pink, so it will work better with these firelight hydrangeas. I have 1 yellow and 1 Sylvia ball dahlia, and that's not enough for now. So we're going to work with the Sweet Fabian and the Cornell Bronze. Throw the ball, and instead of putting the marjoram, 3 or 4 stems of that, because I'm putting in 6 ball dahlias, I'm going to try and keep it to just 1 stem of marjoram. So we're going to start with, again, the same 2 stems of poppy pods. And again, we're going to go around them with the 3 stems of firelight hydrangea in thirds. So we have that kind of collaring around the poppy pods. Then I am going to put the Sweet Fabian up high, and even though it is still pink, what I do like about it is, again, texture for me is really important in a bouquet. So you've got this nice architectural, strong, graphic detail of the poppy pods, this really soft and fluffy and frilly firelight hydrangea, and then the ball dahlia, which is tighter, bolder, very round, gives a different texture even though it gives the same color. And I'm going to put 1 in between, again, using my thumb to open it up, in between each of the firelight hydrangeas. And that's what we're left with. I'm going to use the 1 stem of the soft purpley marjoram and come into the center. And I'm just, because I don't have a lot of flowers here, I'm just going to come into the center like that, come down, and then close that shut. So that's on the top, and that's just to give some color into the very top of the bouquet. Then I'm going to come in with a 3 Cornell Bronze, and I'm going to go into the same spot that the 3 Sweet Fabians are, but I'm going to go a little lower. So I'm going to go like that, find the next one, go a little lower, find the next one, and go a little lower. So this is what we have right now, which I do really like as well. Same 2 stems of laurel, I'm going to come up from underneath and push up so that they give a little bit of width at the bottom. Come to the other side, find the spot that I want it to go, push up. Same thing, gives them a little bit of width. I've got this one that likes to poke upwards, so I'm going to, again, tuck that more into the center of the bouquet just to add that little bit of depth of the shiny, bold laurel leaves. And that's the firelight hydrangea with the ball dahlias bouquet. I do like how the Cornell Bronze, which is a much deeper, much more shadowy color, balances off all the soft and frilly and I'm not a pink person, so I guess that's why I like it balancing off with that as well. But I really do like the firelight hydrangea, even though it's got a lot of pink. It will, as the season progresses, become redder and redder in its blossoms. So I didn't want to cut any of the white ones because it's when they go redder. Red hydrangeas are unusual here. Most of our hydrangeas, the more old-fashioned kind, this is still the hydrangea from last week and the week before, are blue because we're acidic soil. So we do not get the pink dahlias like a lot of you guys get. The acidic soil that we have keeps our hydrangeas blue. So the fact that these will stay the white with the pink going deeper, deeper red is more unusual in our climate. So I'll turn you off. I'll see why Leila's whining over here. And take a picture of this. And the next bouquet we're going to use with sunflowers. Okay, the sunflower bouquet. Actually, in the test where I just kind of quickly put them together, I quite like this. I like the bold. I'm going with the bold gold rather than any of the white sunflowers. Again, for the contrast. And I really like the contrast of this bold gold with the soft frilliness of the firelight hydrangea. Okay, let's put them together. I'm going to start with the 2 poppy pods because I know I'm going to have one come up the center. I'm just going to put it up the center. And then, again, we're going to do this. So this is basically 3 stems so far. I'm going to do the 3 stems of the firelight hydrangea. So now we're at 9 stems. Then I'm going to do the 3. I've got 2 orange and 1 gold light. And again, I'm going to use my thumb, I'm going to open it up, I'm going to put in, and I'm going to face it inwards and come down so that it faces a bit more upwards. Face it inwards, come down, so it faces up a bit more upwards. Faces inwards and come down for the same reason. Actually, this one I'm going to just tip a bit more out. And I'm looking at this, and these 2 are a bit too close together, so I'm going to have to just shuffle that one around a bit. Doesn't that look good? So we've got 3, 6, 9 stems. Do I even need any more of these? Yeah, I really like the way the frilly marjoram looks when it's in here. So I'm going to put another 3 of those, so that'll bring me up to 11 stems. This one in there, I'm going to just push it in between. I want one here. I'm going to push it in between. So that's that. Really liking this one. And then we're going to get the same 2 laurel stems that I've been using. Again, come up from below, push up so that it faces out, push up so that it faces out. So that took me to 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14 stems in total. But a lot of these stems, you know, they're not worth much. The laurel I have to trim. The marjoram grows like a weed in my garden, so I'm okay with putting in extras of those. But the sunflowers, the dahlias, and the hydrangea definitely have to keep track of the stems of those that I put in there because those are not free for the taking everywhere and anywhere. So that's that bouquet. I'm going to try and do one more bouquet using the 3 hydrangea stems that I used in the last two weeks that are in the stronger, bolder color. They're starting to look a little off, but for the sake of this video, they're perfectly fine, and I don't want to cut another 3. I want to keep all the good ones for custom bouquets if I can, because mostly the flower wagon, I am using dahlias, 3 dinner plate dahlias with 3 sunflower dahlias. Basically, the same recipe I've been using. 2 poppy pods, 3 stems of marjoram, 3 dinner plate dahlias, 3 sunflowers, 2 stems of laurel leaves, and that's my roadside flower wagon recipe that I'm doing over and over and over again. It only changes if I'm short on dinner plate dahlias because I'm not short on sunflowers anytime soon, although I have been short a couple of times, in which case it's changed them too. But anyway, let's take some pictures of this and then come back and make the hydrangea bouquet. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up. I really, really appreciate it. And it's supposed to help with the algorithm, so, you know, help me out. And also, if you are enjoying this video, you might like all of my other bouquet making videos that I've done in the past and upcoming. So make sure you're subscribed. Now let's get on with the final bouquet. And we're gonna do, again, exactly the same thing. I've got the 2 stems of poppy pods and the 1 stem of marjoram. I'm gonna go around it with the 3 firelight hydrangeas. And now we're going to go through it with the 3 common hydrangeas. I have no idea what these are called. I've had them in pots for years. You never know it because they're only about the size of that one. But if you keep them in pots, they don't get big. And I don't have place for a hydrangea to get really big on my property. So we're gonna feed these in. There's 3 of them. Feed that one there. It's a little bit too similar in color. The blue's nice because it's completely different. Clearly when I take the photograph, we'll take the one with the blue in it. And then this one's a bit more lavendery. We'll just look at the blue side because that's basically what I want to focus on. Feed in some more of the marjoram because everything else stays the same. Really what this is all about is a practice of how when you, this one on this side because of the color difference, when you change one element, because everything in these bouquets is mostly the same except for one element, which is the second large flower that goes along with them, and how just that one change can make such a difference in how the bouquets look. So that's that bouquet. Focus on the blue side because I don't want to cut 2 more blue ones because again I'm saving them for custom bouquets, but this is basically a roadside flower wagon recipe, which all of them are. So I will tie it and take a picture of it, and then when I come back we'll look at the pictures. They'll be numbered and you can tell me which one's your favorite, which one's your second favorite, and so on, because it's actually helpful for me to know as I plan ahead for the following year what I'm growing and what I'm not growing, which is people's favorite. For instance, I think I may actually want to, I really like how this firelight hydrangea looks. I may want to go back and buy in the fall when they start having things on sale, if they still have any. I might go and buy another couple more pots so that I have plenty of blooms for cutting for next year. Anyway, gotta go take a picture of this and then I'll be back. So the first bouquet we made was with the 3 Wanda's Capella dinner plate dahlias, which are a good size. I'll put it right up on my face so you can see it's a good size. They're not full size because again I cut them before they're full size. I cut them when they first opened up into their full starburst. I don't wait until they get bigger. As soon as they're completely round in their appearance, that's when they get cut. It's better vase life that way. So that's okay. The bold, strong yellow, as you can see here in the picture that I'm putting up, has a really nice contrast to the firelight hydrangea. It's a completely different yellow than the sunflowers, which is a more orangey yellow. This is more of a buttery yellow. So it's interesting how the difference in that looks with each of them. So that's the first bouquet. The second bouquet we also did with dinner plate dahlias, which I'll put up here, but we went with the Spartacus. I'm not going to pull them out because I might accidentally tangle out a bunch more. The AC Loomis, which had the white frosting, and then I was going to do the Labyrinth, but the pink was too much similar to the Firelight, so instead we went with the Lindsay Michelle, which had the yellow center and the fuchsia. The third bouquet we did using ball dahlias, specifically the Sweet Fabians and the Cornell Bronze, and I kept the Cornell Bronze a little bit lower because it's a deeper, darker, and because it's deeper and darker, weight-wise, it's heavier than this one, so that's why I kept it a bit lower, because weight-wise, gravity would pull it down. Even though, you know, size and texture and everything else is equal, the color of this, if you give it a weight, this will be heavier. So if you put it up high, it'll feel like it wants to do that. So I kept the Cornell Bronze lower. And that was the third bouquet. The fourth bouquet we made with the sunflowers, and I was really surprised how much I liked this bolder, stronger, more orangey yellow with the soft pink and whites of the Firelight Hydrangea. And then the last bouquet we made with the traditional sort of classic mop head hydrangeas, of which I would have cut 2 more blue, but this is what I had cut prior and they're starting to go, so I didn't want to go and use them up for when I use them in custom bouquets. So I'm just kind of pretending these two are blue, and in the photograph you will see the blue one more. And for when you're deciding which ones you like better, just pretend they're all blue. So that was the final one, and that's the only one that had a real good blue contrast. So let me know in the comments below your order of favorites. I don't even know which is my favorite yet. I have to look at the photographs to decide, because as I'm making them, I'm not really analyzing which one I like better than the others. And while you're deciding, what I'm going to do is put up on the screen a link to my July garden tour, because next week we're going to do the mid-August garden tour. And as a refresher, if you want a refresher as to what it looked like a month ago, my cut flower gardens, you can rewatch it as a comparison. Or if you haven't seen it yet, you can watch it before you watch the August garden tour. But you have to be subscribed to make sure it comes into your inbox. And yeah, let me know in the comments below which is your favorite, and I'll see you next week. Bye.